Humor. Getting ready to go vote. Sitting there all day down there. I don't know. There's something about this business. Whenever it's off, it's off. I mean, there's like no. I don't know. Well, just in the morning times I get busy. Not that busy. Not as busy as I used to be. When I first started working here, it was like, holy crap. I'm going to stop. And then I go home. Loading 1680 trucks a day. You know, working. Getting ready to go vote. I'm going to go vote for Trump. If you don't know why, then, you know, hey, whatever. But, I'm gonna kind of explain why, or my reasons why, alright? Not everybody has the same reason for doing something. Not everybody does. Alright? Last few years, I already did a video about Atticus, right? The last few years I've been doing stuff with this guy, right? Oh fuck. There we go. Get the light up on there. Alright. My light guy just quit. So you know I gotta do something here. Anyway. Okay. Alright. Stop. We've been doing things, you know, because Trump really didn't know what he was doing. You know, I'm going to put it out like that. I mean, you know, he knew what he was doing, right? He was going to be president. He was going to do this and do that, but he didn't know, like, technical things, some technical things, right? He didn't know certain laws or certain things, you know, were good and bad or ugly and different what, you know, because, you know, he'd only seen, you know, like we only seen, you know. He didn't see actually what it was. You know, he said he was going to take people's guns and all this and that. No, and then he stopped and he was like, no, we'll just do this, you know, take the bump stocks. You know, and I learned what a bump stock was. I didn't even know what a bump stock was. I really didn't. But I learned what it was and how it works and all this and that. It's kind of just a spring thing that makes it bounce off your shoulder. Make a semi-automatic act like a fully automatic weapon. But, you know, he said, well, yeah, we'll just go with the bump stocks. And then later on, you know, they started doing legislation for the red flag laws. And we're going to make that a national thing, right? They were putting it in. They were going to do it. They were going to do it. Even had Dan Crenshaw all up on it. The guy from Texas. He's supposed to be a better, you know, smart guy. All this and that, you know. Helping us out. Dan, good old Dan. Fuck you, dude. Well, you know, this red flag law goes against the Second Amendment. We all know this, right? We all know this. You know, any law against our freedoms is against our freedoms, right? Like that no-knock warrants, call somebody and say something about something and then get a no-knock warrant and they come to your house like they did in Georgia. They killed this guy, right? Because he was a bad guy and he had guns. He was a bad guy or something. And that stinks. Whew. Anyway, they started going through the phases of it, going through, the House of Representatives and the Congress, and, Atticus had written a post or something and tagged me into it. He did that a lot. I read so much political bullshit. Oh my goodness. Right, so he had wrote and put me in this post and was like, all this red flag laws and all this and that, and just kept on going and going and going and going. Right, and I got in there, I was like, well, I can't see this happening. I really can't see it happening. Because the process, right? The process for a law or a bill to become a law, right, goes through the House and goes through the Senate and it'll go to the court, right, because they got to say, well, yeah, this is constitutional or this isn't constitutional. And then it'll be like, once it gets to this court, the Supreme Court, the supreme law of the land, right, it'll be like, well, no, man, this ain't right. This takes up 4 or 5 of our fucking rights. So if the Supreme Court did pass this law and it did get to the president, then it'd show the whole system as being just totally corrupt, right? Well, I said that, and Atticus and all this and that. He just kept on going, and all of a sudden, everything stopped with all of that. Everything in the courts or in the Congress and the House and the Senate, it all just stopped, right? I was like, I didn't really notice it until later, but everything just stopped after that. It just stopped. Everything stopped. No red flag laws? What, you heard about a red flag law? Oh yeah, Trump said he was going to take all our guns. And I remembered that had happened. I was like, holy shit. Wow. It just stopped. Everything. No mention of it anywhere. Nothing. Alright. Fast forward maybe a couple, 2 or 3 months. This meme, Chuck, he had shared this meme and he said, Chuck, he had said, oh yeah, they're going to send the reserves down to the border and they're going to do all this and that. And everybody's like, chucking it up, being all like, yeah, we'll send the reserve to the border. It's like, then I stepped in and I was like, hey, why would you send the reserves to the border? I mean, yeah, you can do that, but why? When you got tens of thousands of people just sitting on their ass in their barracks being paid. Why? Why would you do that? And everybody else is like, oh, because of posse comitatus. Posse comitatus. I was like, no. Posse comitatus. You're out of your mind. It's because because the Act of 1911 or something is Be Nice to the Natives Act. And, we just kept on posse comitatus, be nice to the natives. Be nice to the natives, posse comitatus. And something about the Insurrection Act came up, 1867. It was just all confusing, right? Everybody was just back and forth. I was like, no, well, the president can do whatever the fuck he wants. He's the commander-in-chief. And there's a clause in there, too. There's a clause in the Constitution or something that he can use his federal troops for up to 180 days as he sees fit. Because we've been doing this for years. I was in the Army for 22 years, right? 2 years reserve, but, still I was in the Army 22 years. We've been doing this for years. Go on a 6-month rotation here, 6-month rotation there, 6-month rotation here. Pretty much occupying fucking countries, right? For years. We've been doing this. So why can't the president send national troops, federal troops to the border? Why can't you? And everybody was like, everything stopped. Right? This argument, I was probably back and forth, I don't know. No. It was a good 24 hours. I had sleep time in that too, 24 hours at least. At least. And then everything stopped. Nobody liked my curve. Some people did, but, they were like, yeah, whatever, this and that. This is Friday morning to Saturday, Friday evening to Saturday. Saturday in the morning it started back up, yeah. I went to Saturday evening, and in the evening it all just stopped. And Monday morning, the president came out and said, we're sending federal troops to the border. And we got to change some laws. Verbatim. Them's his words. And mine. His words and mine. What do y'all think about that? It sounds fucking crazy, doesn't it? Well, I got another story, too. Fast forward, I don't know, another maybe 4 or 5 months. My wife, she's from South Texas. Got a lot of family down there, They share stuff, information back and forth, things that are happening, stuff because of the border being closed down or whatever. And, she shows me this thing one day from Far, Texas. It's near McAllen, Texas. Mission. That area, it's all that area. My wife's from La Jolla, originally. Houston, and they moved to La Jolla. But, matter of fact, her family's been in this country longer than I have. My family has. Think about that. Yeah, she's Mexican. Longer than my family. Been here for years. Well, they sent this, I think Roger sent it to Victoria, my wife. He sent it, and he was like, look at this. Look what's going on. Right? I was like, hey, let's see what happens if I do this. Right? Kind of testing the waters, right? So I share it with Charles, Atticus. I tag him to it. Lucius, I think Michael too. Hamill. A few other people, right? So I'm over here like, man, look at this, look at this, look at this, boom, 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 right? It was like, huh. You know, there wasn't really much response on it, but there was. 2 days later, well, after, I had to explain what it was and where it was and what they were doing. On the video, there was a firefight on the other side of the gate. The barrier between U.S. and Mexico. And there was a firefight. And you could hear the weapons, the discharge of the weapons made an echo on the walls of the buildings that were there. And you can hear it. I mean, it's like being right next to it. If you're right next to a building and the weapon goes off, that piercing, it's like a piercing sound. And you can hear it. That was a heavy, high caliber rifle. You can hear it. I was like, hey, hold it. Because that's on the border walls, you have the river, the Rio Grande, right? You got the Rio Grande, and then you got, I don't know, maybe a mile and a half, until you actually get to the wall, right? Could be more, could be less in some places. But, you don't get sound like that from a mile away. You do not. It has to be right up against it. Well, 2 days later, somebody was on his way to McAllen. They made a big news thing about it too. Just go to the border. Got something going on. We're gonna go meet with people. That actually happened. Mr. Trump, on his way to the border. Gotta go talk to the people down there, see what's going on. Gotta do a eye thing, Gotta look at it. Like, hey, what's going on? What's going on, buddy? Shake hands, get photo ops, get some tacos, burritos, and shit. I don't know if he did that, but he might have. Some Duce, leche or something, I don't know. That actually happened. Another little story. Oh, the Kurds. I think that's the last one. I talked about Mr. Lawrence, the lieutenant that got released from prison, right? A pardon.